Good morning. I am 4 minutes earlier today, so if you're watching a recording, you're welcome to fast forward or stay with us through our hellos. Good morning, Alice. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, John. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Kathy. Glad to see you here live. Good morning, Judy. All right, it is time for us to start. Good morning, Jean. And today we will look at the quality of selfishness that makes mudita, which is the Pali word or Sanskrit word for sympathetic joy. So, selfishness makes sympathetic joy impossible because there is no space for sharing when we enter this mind state of selfishness. In the English language, the word selfishness is used in a very confusing way, though. For example, a lot of people consider that taking time for themselves, for their own self care, is somehow selfish. Of course, it isn't, and it can't be, because if, for example, we go with an airplane emergency metaphor, if you don't put your oxygen mask on first, then there is no way you can help others in the best possible way. So, of course, taking care of yourself is not selfish at all if you look at the big picture. So for the purposes, but anyway, it's very confusing, like what's selfish, what's selfless. So for the purposes of our practice today, we will use the word avarice instead of selfishness to avoid the familiar connotation associated with the word selfishness and kind of avoid this knee-jerk reaction that we have to the word selfishness. So avarice manifests as meanness and contraction in the mind. It is characterized by extreme possessiveness and attachment. It does not want others to hear or know about something that is bringing us happiness, as if it will make our happiness less if we share it with anyone. And we may feel avarice in relation to a variety of objects, our friends, material things, learning, ideas, attributes such as intelligence or beauty. And when this desire to possess something exclusively is powerful enough, we begrudge those who have the same quality. We want no one else to have what we have. For example, when we have a great idea and suddenly hear somebody else share the same idea with the world, we may feel somehow robbed, as if ideas were one of a kind commodity anyone could selectively and exclusively own and copyright. Avarice causes tremendous pain. There is absolutely no peace in it. In this state, we're constantly looking around, constantly on guard to hide what we have so that no one else can experience its benefits. And of course, we feel miserable when we find out that somebody does have it. The roots of envy and avarice are aversion towards others and attachment to objects, both material and abstract. The gladness, which is the essence of sympathetic joy, uproots this envy and avarice as the mind fills with the qualities of delight and appreciation for others and the wish for them to be happy. So this is how we start to shake the foundation of those closed off mind states like envy and avarice and any type of aversion by cultivating loving kindness and sympathetic joy. So let's explore this together now. And we will do it with a practice on quieting the inner critic. Take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to settle in, to scan your body and ground, feeling the support of the earth. Acknowledge all the circumstances of your practice, internal and external, with each breath dissolving the boundary between external and internal. With each breath, reminding yourself that we are all interconnected, part of the whole, not separate from the world. Effortless in your entire being, body, mind, and heart. Effortless in your breath. Feeling the strong connection to the earth, the support of the earth, and at the same time, the weightlessness of your body when it is supported. When we start to honestly uncover all the impediments to loving kindness and sympathetic joy that we experience inside our heart, it may be very tempting to look away and to run away from all these quote unquote bad, wrong, unskillful mind states. Our inner critic starts pointing out how terrible our thoughts, intentions, motivations can be. And it's inevitable that we start feeling shame, guilt, etc. And of course, there is no real way you can run away from these feelings. There is absolutely no way you can successfully push them under the rug and forget about them forever. If you attempt to do it, those feelings and thoughts will only manifest in some unskillful behavior in your life, making you even more miserable. So it's much more skillful to openly acknowledge and accept whatever comes up. Saying things, thinking things like, okay, this too is me. This too, however quote unquote bad, wrong, however shameful, even if I don't like it, it's part of me and it's okay. This just proves that I'm human. So practice today on quieting the inner critic. So at this moment, call to mind a difficult emotion you felt recently. Jealousy, fear, greed. Connect with this emotion on all the levels available to you right now. Where do you feel it in your body? How do you feel it? Is it a knot? Is it a tingling sensation? Is it a just overwhelming anxiety, or whatever it may be for you? Really connect to where you feel it in your body. And once you do, start gently examining it without obsession, without judgment. Just notice, are you ashamed of this feeling, of this emotion? Do you dislike yourself for it? Do you feel you should have been able to prevent it from arising? Do you consider yourself in some way bad or wrong for having this emotion? Take in whatever you find out. Openly look at it. It's okay. And now see what happens if you change the word bad or wrong, or whatever word you're using to describe it, like shameful, guilty. Reframe it as painful or suffering. See if you can recognize that the jealous or fearful feeling is actually a painful state, a state of your suffering. See what happens in your relationship to that feeling as you make this conscious change. Not bad, not wrong, not shameful, but painful, suffering. And as you do this, see if you can bring some element of kindness and compassion to yourself. Begin holding this emotion, this difficult emotion, with kindness, with self-compassion, and see what that emotion starts to feel like in your body. Again, scan your body and notice if there is any shift in the sensations. Observe all the sensations that you encounter. Remember, there is space for everything. You're spacious enough to hold it all. The pain is there, the suffering is there. But so is compassion and kindness. And this compassion and kindness kind of surround the painful feeling. You are spacious enough, and it is not a contradiction to experience both pain and relief, pain and kindness, pain and compassion at the same time. Just go like that and notice if that sense of badness, wrongness, shamefulness comes back. When you catch yourself being harshly critical to yourself, see if you can replace this with compassion. Remind yourself that you are practicing loving kindness towards yourself. You may actually repeat the loving kindness mantra here, the full verse, or just the one line that you prefer. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I be happy, healthy, and at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. As you do this, as you send the energy of loving kindness to yourself, gently reflect on the fact that you are not able to prevent negative feelings from arising. Remember, they just come and go like waves, like clouds in the sky. And you don't need to completely overcome, to be overwhelmed by them. You don't need to be defined by them, to act on them, or feel ashamed if you have them. These thoughts and feelings will arise no matter what, just because you're human. And it's simply in the nature of things. What you can do is commit to trying to see them more quickly, to recognize the pain behind those difficult emotions, and to have compassion for yourself, and then to gently let them go. We can also commit to remembering that when someone else is acting quote unquote badly or unskillfully, whatever emotion is motivating them, it also puts them in a painful state, a state of suffering. And we can have compassion for them too, whether we like them or not, whether we approve of their behavior or not, whether they are our friends or enemies. As you go through your day today, I invite you to notice whatever thoughts and feelings you deem as bad or wrong or shameful in yourself. Notice how you label those thoughts and feelings in your mind, and how you label yourself for having them. In that moment, see if you can expand your awareness to remind yourself that this is actually suffering. You are suffering. This thought or feeling is painful. And see if instead of berating yourself for it, you can surround this painful state with loving kindness. In that moment, when you notice this, if it helps you, repeat the loving kindness mantra or just your favorite one-liner. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I be happy, healthy, and at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. When you feel ready, gently come out of the practice. Thank you so much for being here. Have a gorgeous day, and I will see you tomorrow.